Welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. This one's going to look a little different. It's going to feel a little different, and it's going to sound a little different. I was fortunate enough to have a booth at the NRA annual meetings Radio Row, which is something new the NRA is doing at their annual meetings. I was able to do a number of audio-only interviews, and what you're about to hear is one of those. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. If you're listening to the show in podcast form, please leave a positive review. And if you like the show, share it with your friends, because that is how we get the Stagecoach across America. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. This is one of our pit stops from the NRA annual meetings in Atlanta 2025. And today, right now, I have with me Nathan Mitchell from Mitchell Defense. From Mitchell Defense.
Hey, it's glad to have someone that had me on the show.
Me too. We were on a show
2 years ago.
A year and a half ago. Yeah, at SHOT Show.
A year and a half, yeah.
Yeah, SHOT Show 20... What was last year?
I don't even know what year it is now.
Perfect. Yeah. We did a SHOT Show with Clover Tack.
Yep.
And with Ghost Tactical.
Yep.
With Chris and Trey. And they had us both on, which was really cool. And I got to tell you, I appreciate those guys because they were showing me the ropes on how to not just do the StreamYard, but how to run little commercials. And I'm like, how did you guys do all this? Like, my video for the first day, my video is horrible. My audio is worse.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do this. And I'm like, oh, man.
I couldn't even imagine, like, in the radio podcasting space, like, the time that it takes, like, to do this kind of stuff and, like, the expertise and, like, the equipment that has to be behind it.
It's a lot.
We've talked about doing something, and every time I'm like, I don't want to do this. No. Yeah. I'm just going to go build guns.
That's even better. It's so much easier.
Yeah.
I jokingly tell people that when I started doing video, I felt very much like a terrorist because I just wanted to learn how to fly the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do I put these three cameras together and make it not look like a Japanese movie?
Yes.
And then someone's like, you can synchronize these. I'm like, what? Then it was... Bam.
Whenever like how this is probably like 3 years ago, I started like really pushing the product like very, very hard. I was like, I'm gonna set the YouTube channel up, we're gonna have the videos, I'm gonna explain the product, go over it, got the lights, got the camera, got like everything, like learned like the lighting, putting the lighting behind to make things look deeper, like all this stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. 3 videos in, I'm like, I can't do this. I was like, this is just way too much time. I don't have the video editing expertise.
Oh,
like,
man.
That's like a whole like degree in itself.
It really is, yeah. What did I do? I think it was a Udemy class.
Oh yes,
I did a Udemy class.
I did one of those for aquaponics during COVID.
What?
Yeah, where you like have like the fish tank that has like the fish in it, and then it runs the water into like a grow bed. So you're growing and then the plants clean the water. They go back into the fish tank. It's like a self-sustaining like grow operation. My wife was pissed. I spent way more money on this thing than I probably should have.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
and then we had a kid, and
that was it.
Then everything died.
That was it, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot to learn how to do this. I did a Udemy class, and there was this young guy who was probably 23, and he's like, "Here's how you make beer," and I'm like, "You're barely old enough to drink beer, man. I don't think you know how to make beer.
You haven't crafted your expertise yet to be able to
Oh, so you know what it was? It was a video editing software, but he was editing his own videos on how he made beer, and I'm like, if you're an expert in video editing and beer making, and then you gotta plug for one of your other things that you do and all of your other Udemy courses, I don't really think you're a pro, man. But
yeah,
I
probably made a lot of money doing it, though.
He probably did, that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I just got I was able to put my videos together, and then I eventually learned things where I could zoom out and reframe things, because at first I'm like, you have to sit here, and then I have to angle the camera, and I'm like, I didn't know I could make the reframe it and make the frame bigger and zoom in, so that was then I get to the point where I'm like, all right, how do I do the scrolling like it's a movie?
Yes,
that was another YouTube video.
Yeah, there are lots of YouTube. I've done a lot of things off YouTube videos. I think every time I use an Excel spreadsheet, it's a YouTube video.
Oh my gosh. I'm doing my taxes. I'm like, how do I add, or how do I subtract this one from this one and put the equals over here?
Oh, the thing that took me the longest, and this is just straight math problems, is like when we're putting together like our dealer pricing, it's a 20% markup, not 20% off. So we had to determine go from an MSRP to determine what the price should be for the dealers to get a 20% markup from the dealer price, not from the sales price. So it's not just like a simple like times it by 80 or 0.80 or something. Right. It's like a dividing by 1.2, like trying to get the 20%. It was, it took really long time.
Yeah. All right. Well, tell us about all the products that you guys do. Then all the stuff that you make.
Yeah. So Mitchell Defense, we're an AR manufacturer. We focus on making professional use firearms. So all of our rifles are intended to use for duty use. Civilians can also purchase them, but law enforcement and government and military are our largest customer base and kind of our target. We do a lot of things that increase the things that actually matter in a firefight, which is accuracy, durability, and reliability. It's got to shoot straight. It's got to go bang. And it's got to not fall apart on you.
Right.
So we thermal fit all of our barrels to our uppers. We do a bunch of engineering work to our bolt carrier groups and to our, we have a proprietary buffer system in all of our rifles that reduces the felt recoil but increases forward pressure by 30%. So what that does in terms of reliability, our last independent endurance test that we ran 17,554 rounds without cleaning or lube before we saw the first failure.
17,000?
17,000 rounds.
Wow.
Yeah. When I say like we do a lot of engineering work to it, like we put a lot of money into figuring out how to reduce friction inside the upper receivers.
No kidding.
Yeah. So we actually make a better rifle, and we proved it.
There you go. How do you get into this?
That's a really good question.
Yeah, what's your what made you say I want to make rifles?
Yeah, well, that was a very long. Yeah, so I was a recon corpsman in the military. So I looked at I was a corpsman with Marine recon. And so when I got out of the military, I went out to the oil field. My family has a pipe inspection business out in West Texas. And so me and my brother bought my dad out, and we took it over. And in the oil field, anything I learned engineering-wise, I learned in the oil field. Oil field's 20 years ahead of the firearms industry as far as mechanical processes, like coating technologies, machining. Yeah. Because all their if you want to think, people always talk aerospace with firearms. Aerospace engineers, like machine shop. Machine shop needs to be in aerospace because tolerances, all that stuff. But as far as your coating technologies and some of the other processes, the oil field, going downhole into a very acidic oil, the harsh environments that it has to be in, they put a lot of money into keeping the uptime of those rigs, so that every time they break down, they're losing money for not getting barrels of oil out. So they put a lot of money into making sure that they stay up.
How do we not put that money out? Right.
Yeah. So when I was out there, I really kind of got into the whole gun world. I knew a lot about guns when I was in the military. Knew how to use them really well. But then you start looking into how are these things actually made and manufactured, with these other And so that's kind of how I got into it. Started kind of going down the rabbit hole. Carbon fiber barrels were just really coming out, and I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. So started really diving into that, and then you start diving into bolt carrier groups, and everyone's oh, phosphate's the mil spec, so it has to be the best. And you look in, and you're well, why is the oil field not using that? What are they using for their high friction stuff? And it's oh, they're using armor lube. It's okay, so why are we not coating bolt carrier groups in armor lube? And so that's when we developed our bolt carrier group. And we had a giant machine. We used to use EMI to electromagnetic inspection to test the integrity of downhole tubing, so that the pipe that goes down to the oil wells, it has a rod that goes through it that pumps out the oil. And so we would test it to be able to make sure it could handle the pressures, and there was not enough erosion where it was going to explode on them or any of that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then the last step in the whole process of all that was called hydro testing. We'd pump up the pipe to things 40,000 psi to make sure it maintains the pressure on the seals, and also the pipe doesn't explode. Happens all the time. So in that last step, that machine broke down all the time, and because the engineers who put it together for clean pipe, and we were doing it for dirty pipe, seals and rubber and all that fun stuff. So we had to take that thing apart, and then the people who would actually work on it were in Louisiana. So it was an 8-hour trip for them to come over to actually fix our product, and it would take them days, and we'd be down for that long. Yeah. So we learned how to take the thing apart and put it back together, and that's our buffer system works off the same springs that we ended up putting into that machine to keep the seals and stuff all closed, because it creates more forward pressure, but it's like the springs don't wear out. So like our AR springs, like a standard carbine spring, lasts like 8,000 cycles before it starts to lose its springiness. Ours are 200,000 plus. It's 200 to 300,000 cycles before it loses springiness.
Wow.
Yeah. It also increases forward pressure by 30%. And it's all a metal treatment that we learned in the oil field.
That's wild that you can take the two, take one and cross it over to the other.
Yeah. And then E-Series Cerakote, which we put on all of our rifles on the inside. And it's all about reducing friction. So we have near zero friction inside of our upper receivers.
Nice.
Yep.
That's very cool. You guys make the whole AR? You guys like...
So we do uppers, lowers, handguards, bolt carrier groups, buffer tubes, buffer springs, buffers. The only thing we don't make, we use radian safety, radian charging handles. Right now we're using Geisley triggers. We may switch that up pretty soon. And then there's multiple companies that make our barrels for us.
That's cool. That's pretty wild.
Yeah,
man.
any of the the high functioning parts of it, the things that actually make it work, like the bolt carrier group and the buffer system, we make in-house.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's an insane supply chain to manage.
Oh, I can't even fathom.
Oh,
right?
yeah, it's a lot. And like it's also like the growth of the industry. It's like you never know. Like someone may call you today and be like, "Hey, I need 150 rifles." It's like, okay, well, I have like 30 on the shelf.
Right. Gotta give me some time here.
Yeah.
Have you guys been impacted, or will you be impacted by all this tariff nonsense that's going on?
We're 100% American made. Our steel's sourced in America, or through a NATO country if we can't get it from a. But it's mostly all 100% U.S.
Very cool. That's the way it ought to be, man.
It is. Yeah. Everything we do is American made. I don't believe. One, we sell a lot like government stuff and law enforcement. They kind of have to buy.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome, man. That is fantastic.
Yeah, so just like some tea on the industry. So the other day, I was talking to a vendor. They were like had some buffers, and we're like, yeah, we'll try them out in like our rifles or whatever. And they sent them to me and had like Chinese labels on them, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I was like, hey, we have to send these back. Like we can't use them. Like we're 100% American made. You guys told me y'all are in Pennsylvania. Like. That wasn't true, obviously.
Right.
They're like, oh, we're located in Pennsylvania, but manufactured in China. I was like, all right, well, we still can't use these, so I can send them back. And he was like, well, just use them and just do what everyone else in the industry does and just say they're American made. I'm like, that can't be your advice. Like,
right.
You just told me that.
So there's this little thing that they have called integrity.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys haven't heard of it before.
Yeah. Well, and that's like the last step in our QC. It sounds corny, but like it's would you trust this rifle with your life? Like having actually carried a weapon for work, like the thing's got to go off, and we have to trust that it's going to work appropriately.
Yeah.
So like I have no control over what's manufactured in China and the specs and like what the internals are. Like I have QC steps and contracts with anyone who's doing some manufacturing that's like outside of us.
Yeah.
That like they have to like, and we have ways of testing all that kind of stuff. Like,
right.
And so it's QC. It's
gotcha.
Ongoing project.
Yeah, it sounds like it. All right, well, listen, we need to wrap things up, Nathan. Thank you so much. How can people find you and all your stuff?
Yeah, so Mitchell Defense is our Instagram handle. So Instagram's a great place for us. That's where we're the most active as far as social media. Website is mitchelldefense.com. And then we have our phone number listed on there. Please always call us. We actually answer the phone. If we don't answer the phone, we will call you back in a short period of time.
I need to get the right phone number for you because I sent a text message and you didn't reply, and then I sent another text message and you didn't reply, and I'm like, maybe this isn't his cell number, Charlie.
Yeah, there's a 267 number. That was probably my office number.
I think
we usually kind of do get text messages from there, but
I don't know.
I'll have to use my cell phone.
That's what we'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Listen, man, thank you so much for being on. We're going to put some links in the show description, and hope everything goes well, man. Wish you some continued success.
Yeah, appreciate that.
This is awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.